Get a laptop that's both portable and powerful with Surface Pro 6. Surface Pro 6 has a detachable keyboard and a touchscreen. Pop off the keyboard, easily zoom in on photos. The possibilities are endless. Get even more done with the Surface Pro 6. Learn more at surface.com/pro6.
Thanks for listening to the best of the Odd Couple podcast. Be sure to catch us live every weekday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 7 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Find your local station for the Odd Couple at foxsportsradio.com or stream us live every day on the iHeartRadio app by searching FSR.
You're listening to the best of the Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
There was a nice story today in Sports Illustrated about Dak Prescott and really about the Dallas Cowboys. Dak was on the cover, but there was a lot of talk about how, all the extra money that you make off the field being a Dallas Cowboy. And the implication being that, Dak can take less money to remain the Cowboys quarterback. They're talking about $50 million off the field just as a Cowboys quarterback. We know he's not getting paid a lot of money. He was a 4th-round draft pick, still on his rookie scale deal. But the implication, as I said, is that he should take less money. So I want to throw this out to you, Rob, because we know how it works. Being the highest paid player, i.e. quarterback, in the NFL does not mean you're the best. Doesn't even mean you're top 5 necessarily, Kirk Cousins. But it just means it's all about timing. And if you are a franchise quarterback and you're up, you typically become the highest paid quarterback. Now, it hasn't happened with a Carson Wentz, with a Jared Goff, although, they got more guaranteed money. But Carson Wentz and Jared Goff did not make more. They're making, $32 million a year, roughly. And Russell Wilson is the highest paid now at $35 million a year. And I'm throwing it out to you, Rob. Should Dak Prescott become the highest paid player in the NFL?
Not if I was paying. And I'm just saying it's strictly my taste and what I've seen so far. I just need a little bit more. And I know he started off great so far. They've played 2 bad teams.
Stop it.
I love it.
Everybody's played 2 bad teams.
2 bad teams. And
you're giving them love.
I'm just saying, I haven't given everybody love because I said the same thing. Lamar Jackson, I'm not on board yet. I'm just saying I want to see more. If he pulls off this year now, they don't have to pay him this year. They could wait. It might cost him more if he has that big.
Not might.
Right. If he has a big year, but he might turn it around and be bad. It might go the other way, and not that they would want that. Of course, they want him to be as good as he possibly can, because they think they have a chance to do something. So it's all on where you are and what you believe. I believe that the Cowboys will eventually come around and pay him, especially
this year.
I don't know if it's this year or after this year. Well,
of course they're gonna pay him unless he just completely falls off the map and has a horrible season.
No, but they still got to pay him. I mean, they don't have an option. I mean,
right?
Even if he had
if he had a horrible season and they didn't make the playoffs, they got to pay him.
They still would pay him, but he just wouldn't get the biggest money. Who else? What are you gonna do? You're gonna release him? You're not gonna release him if he had a bad year. Do you see what I'm saying? He still would get paid, Chris. But it would be harder to give him that contract of like making him the highest paid quarterback off a bad year.
The Cowboys need to go ahead and pay him. And I don't know what he's asking. There was, rumors out there report that it was $40 million. Some people said that wasn't true, but maybe it was. I think just based on timing, he is not the best quarterback in the NFL. He is not currently top 5, but I believe he is en route to becoming an elite quarterback without question. Dak Prescott is off to a tremendous start. And you can talk about, it was the Redskins. It was the Giants. Doesn't matter. It's the NFL. Nobody's killing Lamar Jackson because they played the Dolphins. Nobody's killing Tom Brady and Antonio Brown because they played the Dolphins.
No, you're not. Who have you listened to? I mean, did you hear Greg Cosell, who does the NFL films, who talked about Dak and talked about Lamar Jackson? He said both of them. He said, hey, they're playing who's in front of them, but I got to be honest. When you're not pressured by bad defenses and you stand in the pocket, he said those throws are easy throws to make. And he wasn't about to, because it was, I heard him on Colin. He wasn't about to praise and say that Dak had changed his mind or anything on what he's seen. He said it's hard to evaluate a guy when the defense is bad. And I think that's a fair, it doesn't mean that he's no good, Chris. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't make this grandiose, he's turned the corner when there's no pressure in your face and guys are wide open.
He's got a great offensive line. He's going to have protection. Now, granted, it's been overboard against these two bad teams, but he's going to have good protection for the most part.
I agree with that, but
he's got a good offensive line.
I agree with that.
I see growth. I see growth. Now, Lamar Jackson is different. He doesn't have the body of work that Dak has. I'm not just going off these two games. I mean, heck, since Amari Cooper showed up, he's playing great and they're playing great. His numbers are elite with Amari Cooper, who's the first top-flight receiver that he's had the privilege of playing with. We know he had Dez Bryant, but Dez had some issues. Attitudinally, was kind of toward the down end of his career. Jason Witten was old. Now he's back, but he was old. Cole Beasley, I mean, come on. Now he's got a legitimate number one receiver. And he's got, Randall Cobb is tough. So makes Michael Gallup better. Now he's got a modern day, I'm going to call it that, modern day play caller.
So you also
Kellen Moore. And here's what I'm saying, Rob. If they don't pay him now, they need to pay him now. If he's asking for $36 million a year, they need to pay him now, because if they make the playoffs and he continues to play well, it's going to be much more than that.
And if he goes the other way, they'll be saddled with the guy who, coming into the season, people looked at it and said was a third-tier quarterback when they rated him. And you could talk about the receivers. The missed throws and those kind of missing open receivers is something that has nothing to do with who's your receiver. It was about his accuracy. So there's some other things.
He hasn't been missing them now. He's completed 82% of his passes.
I'm just going on what the evaluators in the league, when they look at his whole body of work, pegged him as a third-tier quarterback. If you're telling me he's an elite quarterback, Chris, hey, that's your opinion. I respect your opinion, but I disagree. I don't think he's there.
I'm not saying he's top 5, but I'm saying he's going to be one of those guys that's, like I said, I've said it, you've mocked it, but he's a winner. And now his physical tools are catching up.
You sound like Skip about Tim Tebow. That's what Tim Tebow said.
No, Tim Tebow couldn't throw.
What did Skip say, though? I'm just asking you.
First of all, Skip is not even in the conversation.
I'm just asking you. That was his thing about Tim Tebow.
You really going to compare Tim
Tebow? Oh, he's a winner.
To Dak Prescott?
It doesn't matter. He's a winner.
Are you really going to compare
because
Tim
you used
Tebow
that
to Dak Prescott?
Yes, because you used that as the reason.
I used it for Tom Brady, too.
No, you said he's a winner. And that means that you're overlooking his flaws and the stuff that other people are telling you why he's a third. No,
it just
why
means
he's a third-tier quarterback.
His intangibles.
No, that's what you're not.
He's a leader.
That's what Skip used to do because the numbers didn't bear it out. I wasn't a Tebow guy.
There was just a story on ESPN.com that rated the best shooters of the last decade, and they had LeBron James number 3 ahead of Klay Thompson. That's absurd. As great as LeBron is, that's absurd. And for you to compare Tim Tebow as a passer to Dak Prescott,
That's
I'm not saying Dak is Patrick Mahomes.
You didn't hear me mention
Tebow even in this conversation.
You didn't hear me mention Tebow as a passer. All I'm saying
is, that's the position.
No, your position
I don't
was
care
about
how many games Tebow was winning. He couldn't throw the ball
good enough
to be an NFL quarterback.
You remember the playoff game he threw against Pittsburgh? He threw an 80-yard touchdown to win the game.
What was his body of work?
And everybody was like, he's a winner. It don't matter. He's a winner.
It was 8 games. It was 8 games.
Whenever I hear that,
Prescott has given you 3+ seasons. He's got more victories than every quarterback.
So talk about that. You're just talking about a winner.
That's saying he's a winner.
Why are you yelling? I'm trying to get a point across.
How did they win all those
You're
games?
the one who started this by saying he was a winner. Just talk about his accolades. You don't need to throw that in if his numbers are so eye-popping and he's that guy.
Out numbers. I'd use descriptions. You don't have to just throw out numbers.
I'm just telling you.
And throw out numbers for the next 3 hours? That'll be real fun.
The last time I heard people talk about, he's a winner. Doesn't matter.
Last time you heard it is Tom Brady.
It was Dak Prescott.
Is everybody raving about Brady's physical attributes?
No, but his numbers are way better. It ain't only about that.
So are Dax.
My point is,
don't bring up Tebow. Right? That's all I'm saying.
Why?
Don't bring up Tebow.
That's what they said when he was winning all the games. Though he was winning, it didn't matter.
It's not.
It doesn't matter
if you
why.
Debate Skip Bayless, do it on Undisputed.
I'll do it in the
Skip
morning.
Bayless on this show. I'm not sitting here praising Tim Tebow. I mean, really, like, why you bringing up Skip's arguments? I've never praised Tim Tebow as a quarterback.
You said, I'm just going with that. When you said he's a winner, that's what clicked into my head.
People have said that about
that was the argument about Tim Tebow all the time. He's a winner. Don't tell me about his numbers. Don't tell me that he can't throw a ball. Don't tell me about that. Don't tell me he's a bad practice player. Don't tell me about he can win. He's a winner. That's all that matters.
I don't know who else you're talking about. Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Be sure to catch live editions of The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Let's compare two laptops, Surface Laptop 2 and MacBook Air. Surface Laptop 2 is faster, which means you can work faster too. It also has a longer battery life, so feel free to kick back and watch another episode of your favorite show and keep watching all day long. And unlike any MacBook, Surface Laptop 2 has a touchscreen which makes everything that much easier. With Surface Laptop 2, there's hardly any comparison. Learn more at surface.com/laptop2.
It is the Odd Couple coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. It's easy to save 15% or more on your car insurance with Geico. Go to geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. The only hard part is figuring out which way is easier. Our next guest you can follow on Twitter at KC Bout That Life. KC Bout That Life. KC being Kenny Clark.
I thought it meant Kansas City.
I thought you could definitely think that. I don't think he's from there originally, but it's Kenny Clark,
no,
Green Bay Packers defensive tackle. Kenny, what's happening, man? Welcome to the Odd Couple.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
We're great.
Not as good as the Packers.
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I want to get to that. But first, I got to throw this out because we've been seeing some tweets that you've put out there. You got a competition going on this week with Jeremiah Allison, who played at Washington State, linebacker, of course. Saturday, the Washington State plays your alma mater, UCLA. Tell us a little bit about what you and Jeremiah got going on. A bet or what?
Yeah, it's just a pretty cool little competition we got going on. Basically, we're just seeing, who can raise the most money before the game, and all of it is towards the end of the holiday season. We got something special for both of our charities. So, we just trying to raise as much money as we can so we can help out, families in our area.
That's great. So there's not a bet on the game. It's just raising money.
Yeah, we just raising money for our charities. Yep.
Good. That's smart, too, because I hate to say it, man. Your Bruins haven't looked too good lately.
No.
Oh, man. I know, man.
What's going on there, man?
Hey, Kenny, you smell that? That's the Bruins right now.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm rocking with UCLA all day. I'd rather be a Bruin than a Trojan, man.
Oh man, I teach at USC. Pipe down with that. but let's talk about the defense in Green Bay because you guys are off to a great start. I remember even after you guys beat two division rivals, the Bears on the road, Vikings at home, you got a 2-0 record. And after the first game with the Bears, Aaron Rodgers was interviewed after the game, and he just looked into the camera and said, man, I think we got a defense. Is that defense for real?
Yeah, man, I think so. I think we got some players that can do some special things. And I just feel like, just just as far as just a team, you know, we a lot closer this year. We out there, we playing for each other. And, you know, it's year 2 in Mike Pettine's system. And, you know, Mike Pettin, he's a real smart defensive coordinator. He put us all in positions, you know, to succeed. And I just feel like, you know, we all playing together as a team. And, you know, things just working out real well for us. We stopping people on first and second down, getting people on long distances on third down. And, you know, we like to blitz. We like to move parts around and do all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the pressure getting home from us. And then we got guys like Zadarius and Preston and those guys. You know, they came in and they're explosive edge rushers. And then, you know, guys like myself.
Kenny, how much of a chip is on the shoulder of the defense collectively? I know you haven't been there for the whole time.
You chip on our shoulder.
Yeah, because you get tired of hearing people talk about, they don't have a defense for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man. You know, I was here when we went to the AFC Championship. I went to the AFC Championship my rookie year, and I just, you know, just being here, man, I just felt like, you know, all the time it was always, you know, Aaron, the offense, they had scored 30 points, and, you know, we'd give up 35. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should never lose a playoff game like that, you know? So it's just one of those things where, man, we gotta get out of that, you know, we got to get out of that funk where, you know, the defense is looked at as a liability. You know, every time we play a good quarterback, you know, they're going to score 30. You know, that can't happen. And anytime you got a Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game, and you put a good defense around them, you know, good things should happen. So I think, you know, that's what's going on right now. You know, we 2-0, and we're going to stay humble about it. But I think we're really on the rise.
Kenny, the thing that stands out to me the most, you know, sometimes you can talk about, well, the defense and you maybe can't really tell or see what's going on totally, but you guys have playmakers. In both games, you guys had interceptions at the end where the other team was driving. Is that encouraging that guys are making plays in big situations?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, you see, like, you know, Kevin King made that great interception in the red zone. In the first week, you know, Adrian Amos, he had made an interception in the red zone. You know, it's always good to see those guys, man. The rushing team, and then the back end and the secondary. You know, they working together and making plays together. And I just think, you know, that's why, you know, the front office and, you know, the coaching staff, they brought those guys in. And, you know, those guys are just great additions to our team. And, you know, the guys that we drafted and that's, you know, homegrown, they've been developing and, you know, coming into their own as players. So we're looking real good.
Packers defensive tackle Kenny Clark is joining the Odd Couple. Kenny, this summer or offseason, I felt like Aaron Rodgers took more criticism than I've probably ever seen him get since he's become a star. You know, with Mike McCarthy being let go, some people talked about that. Some people criticized kind of the way he freelances at times offensively. Have you seen anything different from him, whether it's attitude-wise or whatever, this season?
Man, I would just say, you know, he's just focused. I mean, and as always, you know, he's still himself. Man, I don't know, man. He goes out there every day. He competes. He brings his best, and you know, I'm just happy he's on our side. I'm happy we're not playing against him. You know, he can make all the throws. He can read every defense. He done seen it all. So I would just say, man, he's just focused, and I think, you know, just him seeing how the defense performed these last 2 weeks, you know, I think he really sees that we can do something special as a team. You know, I think that him seeing the defense these last 2 weeks, I think he thinks that we can do something special as a team, and we got to just keep working and see what happens at the end of the year.
After you guys had the first road game, I think you have five of the next 6 games are at home. How important is that? I mean, you really could load up and be off to a great start, you know, by having so many games at Lambeau Field. How good of an advantage is that for you?
Oh yeah, that's huge. That's huge, man. You know, we got a couple of opponents coming in. You know, it's a Lambeau Field, and you know, we want to make this place the best home field advantage that we can, and we gotta get those wins. And yeah, it's an advantage, man. The crowd gonna be hyped up. We gonna be hyped up, ready to go, and we gotta win our home games.
Kenny, great stuff, man. We appreciate
yes,
it.
Best
Good
of luck
the rest of the season. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
I appreciate you guys.
Fox Sports Radio has the best sports talk lineup in the nation.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? If you're like most, there's a box in your closet of videotapes, film reels, and photos that don't get watched. Worse, they're degrading. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. 10 years ago, we started Legacy Box to help families convert their aging media to digital. Here's how it works. Fill Legacy Box with your camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos. We professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drives, or the cloud, ready to watch and share.
Legacy Box is the world's largest, most trusted home movie and photo digitizer. Over 450,000 families have used Legacy Box, and we've been featured on Good Morning America, Rachel Ray, and The Today Show.
Dust off those recorded moments and preserve your family's history so it can be easily passed down for generations. Experience peace of mind and enjoy reliving the glory days.
Order your Legacy Box today. Visit legacybox.com/40, and for a limited time, get 40% off your order. That's legacybox.com/40 for 40% off. legacybox.com/40.
Catch all of our shows at foxsportsradio.com. And within the iHeartRadio app, search FSR to listen live.
It is the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob. We're coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And you can follow Rob and myself on social media. Rob is at Rob Parker FS1 on both Twitter and Instagram. I am at Chris_Broussard on Twitter. Chris Broussard 68 on Instagram. And we have a special guest joining us, actually two guests joining us right now, and we are so excited to talk to this young man. You may or may not know his name yet, but we guarantee that you will know his name very soon. He is one of the top high school basketball players in the country. I mean, one of the tip-top high school basketball players in the country. He is a cousin to NBA player Thon Maker. His name is Makur Maker. Makur, welcome to the Odd Couple.
What's happening?
Thank you. How you guys doing?
We're great, man. We're great. You're joined by your guardian, Ed Smith. Ed, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chris?
Great. It's great to have you guys on. And I got to say this about Makur. I met Makur this past, I guess it was spring. I don't think it was in the summer. At an AAU event, and he was a little salty with me because I said that I'm not sure if any of the international guys like Giannis have enough swag to be the face of the NBA. And he said, I'm going to show you that an international guy can have swag. Isn't that what you said to me, Makur?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, Makur, just get in line to be salty with Chris because that's just how it happens around here.
Well, but before we get into some other stuff, I mean, you're 6'11". I've seen you play and seen some video and stuff. And you do play, not exactly, but you remind me a little bit of Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, the MVP of the NBA this year, because you're basically a 7-footer, but you bring the ball up the court. You got a great handle. You can pass it. You're aggressive in attacking the rim. You'll go in the post. But you probably shoot a little better. You shoot outside better and more than Giannis. But did you pattern any of your game after him, or who, if not him, did you pattern your game after?
Yeah, just a little bit of Giannis, the way he gets downhill and the way he finishes and coming down in transition. I just try to grab a little bit of things from him and the things he does and try to add it to my game.
That's great, man. That's great. So,
what about the whole notion of what's going on college-wise? Have you heard about the whole thing where some states are now allowing college kids, when you go to college, that basically you might be able to make money off your likeness? Have you looked into that at all or heard about that?
We were just talking about that, Makur and I. I think that the game is evolving. I mean, the rules around the industry itself is evolving, and people are kind of recognizing there's a lot of things happening. Athletes bring a lot to the table that's beyond the price of a scholarship or the cost of a scholarship.
No doubt about it.
To university. So there's a lot of things to figure out. Is that we're at a point in history where, change is happening right now, and people are thinking differently.
And rightfully so. Chris and I talk about this all the time. The NCAA can say whatever they want. Amateur sports, they got a $6 billion TV deal from CBS. It's about time that the players get cut in.
Well, at the end of the day, I always felt that these kids, I lived in Australia for a while, and it's basically if kids are playing for a club, they can earn the income. It's allowed to happen overseas, and nobody has a problem with it. It's allowed to happen with Olympic athletes. Nobody has a problem with it. So that level of disparity that happens, that Thon went from high school to pro, that was one of my ideas behind that. I'm like, why do we have to go through all of this in order for these kids to just reach their dreams? Why is this such a fight? Tennis players, golfers can do this. Why is it such a fight across the board? And that was one of the things. And I think that's been a consideration, especially with McCour's recruiting. People are feeling, will he go pro or will he go to college? So the colleges haven't been aggressive in recruiting as much so.
Well, McCour, and you can weigh in on this as well, Ed. You've been ranked anywhere from 4 to 7 as far as players in this high school graduating class. And surprisingly, among some of the colleges you're looking at, you got Kentucky, you got Auburn, USC, Oregon, UCLA is in there. It was in there. I'm not sure if they still are for a little while. And Howard University. Now, Howard, of course, is a historically black college. And what is your thinking as far as considering them? You're going to visit there on October 11th, which is their homecoming weekend. So I know you're going to have fun on that weekend. But why are you thinking, obviously most of the top players don't even consider going to HBCUs. Why is Howard on your radar?
Mr. Broussard, things I go by is I always dare to be different, to make a difference. So, just given in any situation when I came out here in high school, people ask, why didn't you go to a top school? I like to build from ground up. I went to a school where it wasn't, the players weren't as good, but, it's my job to lead and to get better and to win games. And ever since most colleges heard that I might be going overseas, they've kind of backed off on my recruiting. And Coach Kenny Blakeney kind of reached out and, has been recruiting me hard and telling me the things that can happen if I go there, and it's really good things.
I'm sorry, Rob. You're from, as Ed said. I mean, your family lived in Australia. Your Sudanese, background. Do you understand the significance, of being that you're not, born in America, and do you understand the significance of a top player such as yourself? If you went to an HBCU, how significant that would be in the college basketball landscape?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at it as why not. I've kind of read the history about it, of the HBCUs. A lot of athletes came out of the Howard University, and they did well for themselves.
A lot of HBCUs used to be the breeding ground for the best players,
right.
Way back when, and transition out. So, we were talking about Ja Morant being in Little Murray State. And if, Murray State, if you can do it at Murray State, you could do it it all depends on the circumstances, who's there to play with you. You have, and the opportunity there. Now, the thing that Kenny has done, I'm from D.C., so, it's a little bit, I grew up in the area, and Georgia Avenue is not Georgia Avenue as it was before. But Kenny has presented a plan. Kenny was at Duke, was at Harvard. He's been on the grassroots circuit. But what he's done is he's been respectful that McCour has a choice, that he could go pro or he could go to college. So he's presented a platform where, okay, I'm going to compete against these entities that might be recruiting him. And these are the reasons why your network and your growth in your network and these things can happen. And, you know, even speaking about him returning to get his degree in a place, you know, such as Washington, D.C. So he's been really diligent in calling more so than anybody else. You know, there are people who were recruiting hard early, but once they felt that the NBL might be an option or a pro might be an option, you know, it got really quiet. But Kenny has just been diligent. He calls me consistently, and he's been working behind the scenes and saying, hey, look, you know, there's an opportunity here. We have some great players coming in. We have some players that are redshirting, and we're going to let you play. And at the end of the day, it's basketball.
Yep.
You know, you like McCour year wants to push, right? You want to push for, if you go to a university, the option is going to be like to push for a championship, to Elite 8, Sweet 16. You want to push. You know, you want that opportunity to compete.
It's the Odd Couple. We're joined by high school superstar basketball player Makur Maker and his guardian, Ed Smith.
And I was just going to say, we've seen players play at all kinds of schools because scouts go anywhere there are good players. It's not the school that makes the player, and I think so many kids don't understand that. If you're a good player, I don't care where you play at, the scouts will find you. We always talk about Joe Dumars, right, Chris, at McNeese State.
Right.
He went on to have a great career and win
Lindsey
championship.
Hunter.
Lindsey Hunter played at Jackson.
Yeah, he
played at Jackson State. He played 17 years in the NBA.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, yeah, you can go. You're right, and especially and McCour. I mean, you're not an unknown. Obviously, you're on the radar of the NBA. You know, the projections are that you will be a lottery pick a year or two from when you come out, and so they're definitely going to follow you. Now, a lot of people, we've looked at the Fab Five. That, of course, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, and a few other guys that went to Michigan as freshmen and turned the basketball world upside down, so to speak. If you decide to go to Howard and a few other blue chip players went with you, the opportunity certainly would be there to do something historic. Are you talking, or will you talk with any other top players in the country about maybe, going to a school together, and in this case, Howard?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If this was to happen, I'll definitely, reach out to some guys and, try to make this happen again, recreate history.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal, man.
That would be.
Ed, what do you think? I mean, you know the college basketball scene well. If indeed McCour decides to go to Howard, and maybe if he gets another top player or two to go with him, how significant in your mind would that be in reshaping maybe the basketball landscape?
Well, I think based on what Kenny has there, because you can't really go into a situation where the cupboard is bare, and then it's just like, oh, why did he do that? And,
right.
And so forth, because at the end of the day, it's basketball. We're in the industry of basketball, and we're in the industry of winning. So you would have to, if you bring a few people along and you look at what Kenny has in the cupboard over there, and there has to be an opportunity that you guys have to have an opportunity to win, to play a high-level schedule. And I think for that, it would make guys following classes like, look, there's an opportunity here to do something really, really different and really enjoy the experience. There are certain things that happen, by being around a level of leadership. Because McCour, he's from the Sudan, so he's used to black leaders, African leaders.
Right.
So he's used to having that within the community. So it's not something that's new to him. But it's something that he's been used to. And so for that, it's there's a comfort level. It's not the same if you went to a historically white university that would be an issue and so forth, because you're a part of society. You're in Australia, you have many other different, races. Everybody blends together and tries to work together. So, but making a move like that, why not? But at the end of the day, it has to be his call. Right. It has to be his call. It has to be, a great opportunity there. So he has to go look, see what it's about, look at the facilities. He has to take his other visits, make his comparisons, and then come down to it. But, it's strong right now from what Kenny has been putting forth and bringing together.
What I love is just the idea that it's an option. And I think that's what we should start. If people would give other schools and situations an option. And that's really, at the end of the day, it's your decision to make. And whatever decision you make is cool. But I think in the past, other people wouldn't even make it even an option. And I love the idea of it. So that's great.
Well, McCour and Ed, great for we appreciate you joining us. Thanks a lot. And keep us posted on this. We'll be watching this. And McCour, like I said, your game is tremendous. I'm already a big fan, and I do see you got some swag, man. You got a little bit of swag out there.
Hey, Chris, when you came out you spoke to the kids, and this is one of the things that we spoke about leadership, and this is what impressed McCour also. You came and spoke to the kids at Dream Vision, right? Yeah. And, we had tremendous leadership over there. They made it happen for us. Like Clay was looking at beyond basketball, and how things are done beyond basketball. And for you to come out there and speak to those kids, every once in a while, you have guys who tune in. He tuned in. I tuned in. And we were like, wow, this is, and you were talking about the experience. And you said, I wanted to play basketball. Right. Right. But I remember you telling Clay and the guys over at Dream Vision that, hey, look, it's going to be, I'm going to more basketball games. I'm more involved in the sport than many of the guys who have played and left and so forth. So there's just so much more you can do. And that type of leadership, I had to say thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. And I had to say thanks to Clay and them, at Dream Vision for a great season and what they did for McCour in terms of shaping him and getting him, to where he is right now, helping that process.
Well, thanks a lot, Ed, for those kind words. It was a great experience, and I saw McCour and several other top players that'll be household names in the very near future. So, again, great having you guys on the show, and keep us posted on what's going on. And McCour, like I said, my brother went to Howard. I got plenty of cousins that went to Howard. Okay. You're going to have plenty of fun on homecoming weekend. Just don't have too much fun.
And McCour, tell Chris just because he's light-skinned, he ain't going to make it in the NBA and be the next Steph Curry.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Appreciate
you.
Right,
thank you, guys. All right, thank you.
Be sure to catch live editions of The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
Now, it's Shop Talk.
That's right. It is Shop Talk, The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. First off, congratulations to the Guerra family because of the birth of their child. I am with you today, Ryan Bershinger. So for today's topic, a Cleveland Browns fan went viral earlier in the week when, after their win on Monday night, he got an autograph from one Odell Beckham Jr. on his forearm. This fan then instantly took himself to a tattoo parlor, didn't shower or anything, and made sure that autograph would then be engraved into his arm for the rest of his life, getting a tattoo of the receiver's autograph. So my question to you guys is simple. Do you guys have a tattoo? Did you ever consider getting a tattoo if you never got one? And if somebody asked you to autograph them for a tattoo, would you do it?
Wow. Well, first of all, I don't have any tattoos, and I've never even remotely thought about getting a tattoo.
Wow.
It's not me. I'm not into him at all. And if I were, there is no way on God's green earth I'm getting another man's or woman's like name other than my wife or mother or daughter tattooed on my body.
Can't do it.
Like, I'm not getting a football player, basketball player, politician, anybody like that's name tattooed on me. I'm sorry.
See, I'm lucky because I have a birthmark that looks like Betty Boop on one of my.
Let me help you.
Thank you. No, I'm with you. Wow, look at that.
It was a good one. It just took me a while to get it.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I'm with you. Just never was into tattoos. It has nothing to do.
Tattoos weren't big when we, right, Rob?
Yeah,
when we were coming up.
Not at all. If you were that tattoo, you had to be like a sailor or a degenerate.
Right.
Seriously, like one of the two. I'm dead serious.
Nah, that's right.
Am I right, Chris?
Right.
Seriously, I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah. It was not, but that's real. That's what it was. You just didn't see them on regular people, so to speak.
And now people got them on their neck and their face. I look at some people and I go, when you're like 55 or 60, what is that going to look like with the wrinkles? But I don't know. You guys are younger millennials.
But
what about
let me
you?
say this.
Hold on, real
quickly.
quick, because Alex is getting one.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, actually, I am. This weekend, Sunday, I'm going to go into one of my buddy's spots. I've been kind of debating this for a long time, but I've decided I want to do it. I'm going to get some Hebrew written on the back of my neck.
Wow.
And I know what it's going to say.
Yes. You want to tell the people, Chris?
You told me the chosen one.
That's it. I'm self-embracing it.
Wow. Very nice.
All right. Hey, that's not a bad one. All right. I have more to say, though. Odd Couple.
The Hank Haney Podcast has arrived. If you want honest golf talk and entertainment, you'll love our show full of powerful opinions, captivating interviews, and the best instruction to improve your golf game. Join me on the Hank Haney Podcast as I break down the game of golf in a way no one else will, through a coach's eye view and telling it like it is. The Hank Haney Podcast premieres September 23rd. Listen and follow on Apple Podcasts or on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.